Never know how much I love you, never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, a fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, a fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new thing, fever started long ago. Romeo loved Juliet, Juliet, she felt the same. When he put his arms around her, he said, Julie, baby, you're my flame, thou givest fever.
But it's not all glitz and glamour. Influenced by a constant bombardment of media images, everyday girls are literally dying to be thin.
The supermodels are getting thinner. This means that if the young person gets hold of the idea that the way to feel good about yourself is to slim, to be like a supermodel, she finds that she's battling against her natural body structure, which is to actually be bigger, and in consequence, she's at risk.
And models too, more than aware of the aesthetic perfection required to succeed within the industry, are also subject to the enormous pressures to be slim.
Kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, I'm his missus. Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you've listened to my story. Here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever, be it Fahrenheit or centigrade. They give you fever when you kiss them.
For a long time, nobody said anything much about the so-called heroin chic phenomenon. But the fatal heroin overdose in February of 20-year-old fashion photographer David Sorrenti has prompted a recent, somewhat delayed reaction in the press. Heroin chic was pronounced dead, but it was also described as symptomatic of the rampant abuse of the drug in fashion circles, and before long, fingers started wagging in high places.
Images projected in fashion photos in the last few years have made heroin addiction seem glamorous and sexy and cool. And as some of the people in those images start to die now, it's become obvious that that is not true. You do not need to glamorize addiction to sell clothes.
If you're shooting fashion to sell, then I personally think you have to abide by certain rules and regulations and certain morals.
It seems there are different degrees of heroin chic, from discreet to obvious. The March issue of Detour magazine, which also happened to run some of Sorrenti's last photographs, featured a fashion layout so blatantly heroin-inspired, it prompted several readers, including actress Juliette Lewis, to write letters of disapproval.
Nice, but get that ice or else no dice. He's your guy when
stocks are high, but beware when they start to descend. It's then